You know, I'm expectant in today's program, and today's program we are featuring Karnataka officially.
Specifically, the state of Karnataka.
Yes, officially. So it's a beautiful opportunity for us to participate. So wherever you are listening from, today I will be discussing about exposing maniacs.
Yes.
Exposing maniacs. So exposing pedophiles and sexual maniacs. So how important it is for us to expose it. Now, if you're listening to this or watching this or listening through any one of our mediums, these are the mediums through which we are having this campaign. Number one, we are partnering with a private radio station, TAN Radio, and that's www.tanradio.net. My voice and this program itself is airing there right now live. So you can listen to Stop Molestation Campaign through a private internet radio, www.tanradio.net. Now, secondly, you can use our social networks to listen to this Stop Molestation Campaign online, the webinars. You can use our Facebook page, and that is Anti-Suicide World Campaign. Otherwise, you can use our YouTube channel, Anti-Suicide Campaign. So now we've got to set the ball rolling. All those online, share this video, especially to those who are from Karnataka. But it's open to all.
Yes.
It's open to all. But officially, we are speaking to Karnataka in this video.
Everyone from the state of Karnataka, whichever place you are in Karnataka, today this program is open for you. We want you to call in or send in the message or your audio record or any record as he has given information where all we are available.
Yes.
And you can join the live program and speak to us concerning the stop molestation. Any experience you have or any comment you want to make, let your voice be heard. We are here to hear your voice, and your voice is very important to be sounded in this campaign. As you are taking part, we must hear you. Please call us. We are ready to receive your calls.
I'm already sharing my post already. Did you share your post?
Yeah.
Good. So wherever you're watching from, you can share your post. You can share your post as you saw us on the page live. You can share your post. Now, this is the third Stop Molestation campaign, and we have had wonderful reporters who are interested in the story, and there is something I tell the reporters. They're all welcome to take the story and to publish the story, but they shouldn't give me a title. Like you say, activist.
Yes.
Foreigner. I'm not a foreigner. I am a human being, as well as Indians are human beings.
Yes.
And the pain they face, I can feel it. And in my campaign, I've always said, you don't need to be a professional to feel a pain and respond with help. Yes. You need to be a human being.
Human to understand their
yes.
pain.
So don't put me in a special category. He's a foreigner. He can speak English. He's an international speaker. I am, but I am just like any man out there. These tools that we're using to get this campaign to you is a fortunate opportunity for us. When we saw that atrocity committed against 8-year-old young girl, we could not only be angry and keep quiet in our homes. We had this opportunity of web streaming, and we have had multiple webinars, and we are using it to reach out. If you use the opportunity given to you, we would reach more people.
Yes.
You as a doctor, if you speak to your patients and you let them know your stand concerning molestation, you let them know your stand, you as an engineer, you show your stand at work. You as a software engineer, whatever it is, you show your stand at work. You bus conductor, you squeeze and frown at every little sight.
Because many things are going on in the buses.
Every little sight of molestation, you squeeze and say, don't try it on this bus.
Yes.
I'll hand you over to the police. We have opportunity in our hands. What is the opportunity? Our vocation. Hello, this is Stop Molestation Campaign.
Hello. Hello, sir. Hello. Hi, ma'am. This is Priscilla here.
Yes, thank you for calling.
There is some disturbance from that side. I'm hearing some echo sound.
Okay, I think the volume the operator has set is very loud.
Okay.
Yes, tell
I
us.
think now it's okay, sir. Yeah. I wanted to share some of the information about a particular law in India which I wanted to share with all the women. Many may not be aware of it because normally when we talk about law or filing FIR or something, people think that it should be at more.
One moment, caller. Operator, do not reduce the voice of the caller. Reduce the voice of the ringtone. There are different controls. There are 3 to 4 controls. The voice of the caller should not be reduced. We should hear the caller properly. Voice call should be full. The ringtone should be below half. Now tell me, caller.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to share about a law in India with all the women because normally women think that you can file a case or file an FIR only when there is a physical injury or a case of rape or something, only then law is applicable. But it's not like that. We have a law under Section 354D of IPC, Indian Penal Code.
Okay,
so
you say now. Okay. Hold on, caller. You are too fast, Priscilla. You say it slowly. They are listening to you. Our audience are listening to you around the world and throughout India. They are listening to you. So you say it slowly so they can understand it.
Okay. So I wanted to share about the information about Section 354D of IPC, Indian Penal Code, which is a law in India. Normally the women think that only in the extreme cases they have the right to file the FIR or something, but it's not the case. So I'll just brief it. There are 3 things which are covered in Section 354D, and it was quite shocking because it covers the basic things also. So I felt every woman should know it.
Basic
First one is
it's under which law?
354D, 354D, D for Denmark.
I do understand that. I mean, under which law, which act?
Indian Penal Code, IPC,
Okay,
Indian Penal Code.
Thank you. Yeah, proceed.
Yeah, so the first thing is stalking, S, which spells it as STALKING, stalking.
Okay.
So stalking includes the following activities, like when a man follows or contacts any woman despite her indication of disinterest on him. She has already told that she is not interested in that man, but still the man is following, and the woman undergoes any kind of fear or any mental harassment, then that man has committed offense under this section. And secondly, when a man monitors a woman through online activity. So we have all the social networks, everything. So a lot of people, anonymous people, they keep a track on the online activity of a girl or something. So if that is also proof, that also comes under stalking. And the third one is if a man watches or spies on a woman. So if he's doing without her knowledge, spying a woman or something, that also comes under stalking. So these 3 things comes under 354B of IPC.
This is beautiful. Thank you, Priscilla. This is amazing.
Is that all?
And I have 2 more things also.
Say everything. We have the time.
Yes, and the second one is like, so under this category, the rigorous punishment is up to 3 years. If a man is found if he is found offensive under stalking or something, the imprisonment is up to 3 years, and they might have to pay penalty also. And the second one is sexual harassment. In sexual harassment, we have making unwelcome advances or physical contact. So somebody doesn't want to even greet somebody, and that they are forcing, that is also classified as sexual harassment. Demanding or requesting sexual favors, showing pornography against the will of the woman, and passing any sexually colored remarks. So these 4 are also categorized under sexual harassment. It is not just that pulling of the hands or doing other activity. Even these are considered as sexual harassment under 354B.
Okay.
And the third one is called voyeurism, VOYEURISM. So voyeurism is nothing but when if a man tries to gain pleasure from watching a woman engaged in a private act, or if a man captures her image, or if he distorts her image, taking her picture and then posting in a very vulgar manner in the social media or something. These acts are also termed as voyeurism. So all these three which I have captured, they come under section 354B of the Indian Penal Code, and it attracts imprisonment of from 1 to 3 years in addition to fine also.
Wow.
So I thought this must be shared.
We don't know. We are giving you a big hand of applause from the studio here. But you do me a favor. Can you hear me?
Pardon?
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
You do me a favor. We're giving you a big hand of applause here for this wonderful, very meaningful contribution from Stop Molestation Karnataka. We want you to copy and paste all these things you have spoken. Paste it on the timeline now when you cut your call, if you are through with talking to us. Otherwise, you can continue speaking whatever you wish to speak. And when you are done, before this campaign is over, please paste it immediately on the timeline on Facebook immediately, so that all the viewers will be able to read whatever you have said, which is in the law, which most of them are not they are not knowledgeable about, they are not aware of it, and we are bringing this awareness to all the women, and so that they will know that they are empowered by the law and they can use the law appropriately.
Yes, because we have like Right to Information Act also, which was passed in 2005. So every Indian citizen has freedom to, he has the right to secure access to any information which is under the control of public authorities, which is in consistent with the public interest for promoting the openness and transparency in the administration. So if if the women are not aware of the law, sometimes when they go to police station or something, those people will tell there is nothing, you can go, we can't lodge any case. So if women are aware of such laws, they can use their Right to Information Act, and they can tell them that under this act, this has to be filed. So that's it. That I wanted to share.
Thank you very much, Carla, Priscilla. You are giving very important information. I wish I have 10 to 15 people doing this in Karnataka to be so nice. Thank you very much for calling Stop Molestation Karnataka. We are waiting for your text to be posted.
Yes, I'll do that right now.
Thank you very much. Now, wherever you're watching from, this is Stop Molestation Campaign, and that's Karnataka. We're featuring Karnataka, and you've got to call in. The number is right on the screen. It is showing on the screen, 97427434006. Call and we will take your call. Now we're talking about exposing sexual maniacs. And that's very important information. It's a very important information, whatever Priscilla is sharing.
Yes,
and
because not everybody are aware of those things. They only think when things goes to the extent like she said, injuries or something that calls for the attention of police, only then we need to file an FIR.
Another problem
they don't know.
Yes, another problem that I think we will be facing here is the attitude of the people towards this law.
But one more thing I want to know, we want to make sure, women has to make sure, because sometimes they go to file cases and it may not be taken in some stations. I don't know if the law is completely aware in all the places. So it has to be made, because certain law government has made provision for those things. Details must be known by every police department.
That's why we're telling her to paste it, paste it on the timeline, because right now I'm watching the program also. If you paste it on the timeline and people be able to see that, everyone who's participating in Stop Molestation Campaign Karnataka will be able to see exactly what is posted and what she shared and what we discussed. Now, in exposing sexual maniacs, why do we have to discuss that today? Exposing sexual maniacs is very, very simple. Exposing sexual maniacs is breaking the power of molestation. We shared this in our first campaign. This is the third campaign.
Yes.
This is the third campaign. We shared this in our first campaign, and if you want to know more about it, which I'll be sharing, but as calls come in, I will interrupt what I'm saying. But if you want to know about it, you go to the very first one. The very first one is the Stop Molestation Campaign.
Even the second campaign, we have shared enough on pedophiles.
Pedophiles. Now, whatever the case is, you have to make sure that while you are listening now, if you don't get any information straight, you go to the first one. They are all on our timeline, and you listen to it, and you'll be able to understand what we mean by exposing sexual maniacs and pedophiles. Now, something very important that we have to bring to the knowledge of our audience again. Not everyone who commit these sexual acts commit it as a result of what they want as a sexual pleasure. Some of them, very few, I would say, has a psychiatric condition.
Psychological condition.
Psychiatric condition, which is which needs a psychiatric
yes, and that may
attention.
be very few.
Very few. Maybe 2 out of 100.
And if you consider the cases that have been going on, you know, the rape cases all over the nation, it is not the psychic condition men that has caused it.
No.
That is
normal
not the
human
case.
beings.
It is normal men that have caused it.
They want to experiment and plunder on little children and women, etc.
So it's just an exploit. It's just an exploit.
Sexual exploit. Just to exploit the people.
So the condition may be there, and the condition is not the core reason for this, but though there is this condition is existing. So it's better that people know about it, but it is not about that. But the thing happens because it has become a kind of an influence in the society. As we spoke about many root causes of it, we already discussed in the last
it is shameful to say it has become it's become what? You said, well, you used the word. Did you say common or something? It's very, very shameful to know that in a so-called nation that is so self-respected as India, it's respecting itself, that is become so common.
Yes.
It is very shameful, because when you look at the Indian culture, it's very reserved culture. In the sense, Indian culture in the sense, they don't like to be like other cultures around the world. They are very reserved in their things. How could it be that people are keeping quiet in this?
Today I came across certain videos when we had a meeting with our own staff that work with us. That time I was checking up, we were checking up on some things, and I saw certain videos that has happened live, and they have video recorded and they have shared it on publicly. And those records, in the train there is molestation that is happening to a woman, and people are just a feet away. They are seated in the train, but they are not helping. They are not doing anything.
Molesters.
Why don't the public come together? If you are scared of one man to fight one man, then why don't you come together and do something about it? And that was the shameful thing that was written there, that in the presence of public men, even the presence of other men, this molestation happened to a woman in the train.
When it happens,
and everybody are just looking, and no one
when it happens to their wife, when it happens to their sister, when it happens to their mother, let's see how they will look at it.
That's what some of them are bringing their short movies and all that, and so many videos have been shared. They are bringing awareness in their own way of this kind of what you are saying. Look at every one of them differently. Don't look at women in the way you want to look at them. Look at them as your sister, as your mother.
What if they dress provoking way, opening their chest and opening their body? What if they dress like that?
It does provoke, but that doesn't mean you go your way out to do something.
The question I'll have to ask them, when KFC chicken is frying, doesn't it provoke you to eat it? Why don't you jump in there and start to eat it?
Yes, they count the cost of it.
Why don't you jump in there and start to eat it?
As you count the cost of
when the chicken is frying, when the burger is prepared, do they hide it from the people? They market it.
Yes.
They show it. You smell it.
Because it provokes. It doesn't
and
mean everybody will go and
because it provoke you doesn't mean you rush there
Yes.
and you push the waiter out of your way. You punch him and you start eating it like an animal, like a human animal.
So what
In
makes
that
them
same
not to
way,
makes them not to buy immediately and just be eating anything that attracts to you?
To buy immediately is very full of courtesy. I'm talking about jumping there just like they do to the woman. Buying is courtesy. Just jump over the counter, push the man away and start eating like a fool. You know, why don't they do it like that? Is that not also appealing to the taste?
Yes.
Is that not mouth watering? But they have enough sense, and India is a country of food business. I have observed the few years I've been here, you know, and I joined my Indian family, you know. It's food business. The food in India, I think they will be, if not number one, number two. Food business.
So why don't they do it?
Why don't they do that? Tasty, beautiful food.
I think first of all they count the cost of it.
Delicious
and
foods.
They know it's a shameful thing, it's an embarrassing thing for a common, normal thinking man to rush into the counter.
Even a madman on the street who is half naked will not jump over the counter and push the waiter and start eating. He will not do that.
Yes.
How much more a normal working man who is a policeman, like the case of Asifa, a policeman, and they said a politician and some other kind of, who will jump over the counter and start to eat the food. They say, what happened? So no, they are the one who seduced me with the smell of the food. There is no reason, whether the woman is naked, there is no reason why we should go and molest a woman because of the way she's dressed. Say, why, see, this is not in our Indian culture. Why is she showing her lap like this? She's seated and they are seeing everything. Well, that's her business. When you go to the hotel, you don't say, why are you cooking and all the food is smelling into my nose like this? I want that biryani without paying for it. You don't speak like that.
Yeah.
It's outrageous. It is out of the box.
It's not self-respect.
It is not self-respect. It's not courtesy, you know. So you give people their space.
Yes.
You give people their space. Now, when I came to India, I will tell you this. Before I got into the Indian community, you know, and mingled with you people, and before I became part of an Indian, I was watching the society. And where I grew up, people will wear skirts. And I'm not talking about skirts that show your body. I'm talking about skirts, you know, normal skirts. When I came to this society, it was not like that. And I wasn't offended. I knew the society is different. But something came to my notice. I see and I notice about the old women most especially. All the women, they tie beautiful saris. Beautiful saris. I noticed something that is common. All their stomach shows. Their stomach, I'll be thinking, okay, this is like that. I first of all thought, oh, this woman didn't dress properly. The body is showing by the side. Then I saw another one. This didn't dress properly. The body is showing. Then I saw another one. This didn't. And then I said, no. This is not about dressing properly. It is the way it is.
It is the way of their dressing.
You see? Why didn't I think, oh, the stomach is nice, let me touch it? Not like that. I grew up in a place where people dress the way they want to dress. You want to wear half blouse, it is your body. You want to wear full, it is your body. We mind our business. You cannot say they are provoking. Neither am I saying the female should provoke.
Yes.
I am right in the middle of this campaign, compromising with both gender. Male, don't jump in the name of they provoked me.
Yeah.
Female, don't provoke in the name of liberty.
Dressing well.
I want to be free.
The way they want.
I want to be the way. Big.
Moderate.
Yeah. Meet.
It is important.
Be in a point. Compromise. Male should compromise and female should compromise.
Yeah. Whatever we can do, we must do. It doesn't mean we have freedom that we do the way we want to do. Because the society is going this way and we are seeing many cases like this. It's better for us to be in a very moderate line.
Yes.
Where we should be.
Yes.
And it helps.
Yes. Very much. So, like I was saying, it is very, very important for us to liken this sexual abuse to food. When we liken it to that, you find out that truly people are behaving like animals.
Madness.
It's a madness. When I came to the society, I saw something different. I didn't go and start treating the women somehow. I wasn't trained, I wasn't raised like that in my family. So I didn't do that. Even though in the first campaign, I think in the first campaign or in the second one, I'm not sure, I shared my experience of molestation. how in my family an uncle molested me, and I shared it very vividly so that people don't think beyond what I experienced.
Yes.
I shared it vividly. That I shared something in that. I said maybe in another campaign I will focus on that. Molested people tend to go to the extreme after molestation. Either they hate it so much and start to show extreme character towards
Yes.
it, or
You
they
find
unknowingly get into it and start to do it.
Yes.
You know, so all these are extremes. So the reason why we have to expose sexual maniacs and pedophiles, it is because when we expose them, they will be, their power to continue the act is stopped.
Yes.
And also when they want to do it again, when they know that these people can expose, and then they will not be able to do it again. It actually reduces molestation when you start to expose it.
Yes,
Expose
it
it.
does.
Send us an email. help@antisuicide.org. Expose it. Send us a voice note. Send us text message.
Yes.
Tell her we have to share it with the world. Look at what this our caller Priscilla just shared now. I think she's taking time to type it. I'm not seeing it on the timeline right now. You look at what the caller Priscilla just shared about the constitutional rights of a woman. How a woman can file a complaint
Yes.
when she is
Molested.
molested in different ways. You know, not really sexual acts now, not up to the act now, but in different ways. A woman can file a complaint. That many people don't know.
Yeah.
In Karnataka, I don't know how many people who know that.
Many are
Especially
not
women.
aware of it. Yeah.
Especially women.
Only the extreme cases they know. When something goes extreme, then it's a police case. But they don't know these things can be a police case.
Yes. So when you continue to do that, you continue to keep quiet, you don't speak at all. Many people, they think, if I speak, how will the society look at me? They'll think that I am unclean. Whether you speak or not, you're actually unclean, because there is nothing in this world that you want to be called clean because of one work that you are doing. We are to help one another. The reason why we expose these sexual maniacs is because we want to help the society. We want to help ourselves. We want to help people who could be molested in future. It's not because we like to talk about molestation. Wow. No, nothing like that. We are fighting against an enemy here. There's an enemy against the future of Karnataka, against the future of South India, against the future of India as a nation, and that is molestation. Molestation. We are fighting against it, not as an individual, as a nation. You must speak. You must let your voice be heard. Wherever you are watching from, you must speak. This is Stop Molestation Karnataka. You must speak. You must speak concerning what you know, what you want to share, stories you've heard, and the things you have learned through this campaign, and how you want to use it to better someone. You must speak. So, like we're saying, exposing sexual maniacs, it stops them from continuing the act. In one of our campaigns, I spoke about a lady who continually was sexually molested by her father. We shared about a lady. I shared about a lady. But because she exposed it, imagine exposing molestation done by a father.
Yes.
Imagine exposing it. Imagine she's in the US. She's in the US. She finally exposed it, and because she exposed it, now we can know about it.
Yes.
And we can know how to avoid such things. And how to prepare people for such things. You have to speak. People think, you know, how to expose my family, you know. I mean, okay, you don't have to reveal
But
your
get
name.
some help.
Get help.
Get some help, personal help from some organization or something. They can give you ideas of how to overcome those kind of incidents happening.
But you see, exposing it, when you expose it, is so important. What? Hello, caller. This is Stop Molestation Campaign Karnataka.
Good evening, sir. This is Melvin speaking.
All right, Melvin, tell me. Calling from Karnataka, obviously.
Yes.
Yes, speaking from Bangalore, sir. I had gone through a situation which is molestation. My brother molested me when I was very young. One thing that I would like to say to the parents is that when I went and said to my parents that my elder brother did this to me, it was completely, when it says molesting, I will just tell you in detail, that is, he removed his dress and he removed my dress.
Okay.
So it was completely what he did was, which is called as homosexual.
Okay.
So that is what has gone through. I went and informed my parents, my family members, but no one believed that he will do like this to my son. And that is what the entire family spoke. No, he cannot do that.
So no,
But I think he's lying. So this is how he almost 3 times.
Hold on, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me clearly?
Not very clearly, sir. Your voice is very low.
Okay, operator, can you hear me clearly now? Hello?
Yes, sir. Now I can hear you clearly, sir.
Okay, you said your parents did not believe you.
They didn't
Did not.
Yes.
How do you know they did not believe you?
Because everyone, when I said this information, they said Melvin is lying. He cannot do that. So everyone said that I'm lying, and no one wanted to trust because I was a very small boy at that time.
Okay.
Somewhere around 6 or 7 years young boy.
Okay.
So no one wants to trust that I'm telling them the truth.
Okay. Yes, go on.
So that's the reason. And when I went to approach my parents, they didn't believe. And the more when it became more was they had shifted their house, and then my parents let me to be in their house, and that is when 2 times it took place. I informed my parents, but they didn't take step. But later on, my mom she came to see something, and then she believed me, and then she said to my aunt that I have to take him to the doctor, so I'm not sending him to your house, and she brought me back home.
Okay.
So that is how my mom finally she realized, and she brought me back home. And to another person who visited my house also, I've gone through the same situation. So the information which I'm really getting from Stop Molestation Campaign is it's very special for me, because I have gone through the same situation.
Okay, how?
I've seen this is like a man talking right now. A man is not free in this India.
Okay.
And especially where in Bangalore city it is being increased.
Okay.
So I know through this campaign it's going to be stopped. And also I would like to answer the question that is being placed during the last Stop Molestation Campaign.
One moment
Hold
before
on.
you answer the question that was asked in the
Yes,
last.
the question was,
Hold on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very low, sir.
Okay, because
Okay.
I'm not even able to hear myself.
I want to
also.
ask you a question. Can
Yeah.
you hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, when that happened later on, how did it affect you mentally?
It affected me in such a way that I didn't like to see any men, neither women. I don't want to go close to them, have good relationship with them. I had only a good relationship with one of my uncle and my parents.
So how long were you
And-
in this kind of a traumatic condition?
Ma'am, I didn't hear you clearly,
How
ma'am.
long you went through this kind of a traumatic condition? Being mentally affected, how long was it? How long did you go through it?
It's been years, ma'am, because I was affected in the age of 6 and 7. I was completely out of it in the year of 2014. Still 2014 I was in that place.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very
So
much.
it's been years. It's been years to come out of it. it was also it was very difficult for me to come out of it, and especially my parents, they helped me out during one of the seminars.
Yeah, very important thing from this. Can you just hold on for a moment?
Yes, sure.
Important thing from this call I would like to say is, parents, when your child comes in and speaks to you openly, it's really
ma'am, I'm not able to hear your voice, ma'am. I think
okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
My mic is not able to see the audio.
So when parents are not responding properly to their children, and when children come up opening up something to them, it's very important that you respond. You have to investigate, and you have to know. Otherwise, it can take far, even to the extent of taking the life of a child.
Yes.
Or something or other can happen. So you have to be very, very cautious, and you must take the appropriate steps as parents. That's one thing.
Yes.
That's very important from this caller.
And you wanted to answer the question that was posed. What question was that? So many questions.
That was a question which is being laid down was, if a woman is being molested, will that man marry from India? Was the question which was made.
And or will men from India marry?
Okay,
yes.
Okay. I'd like to remind you.
Okay, one moment,
Last
please.
session, we had a question from a caller asking about the rights of the women. That when a woman is molested and raped, and after she is restored, which man would come out to marry her? Will men come out to marry her?
That's a heavyweight question. Yes, caller Melvin, you answer the question. Yes.
Yes, sir. There are men like me who are there out in this India who are open, and also they know that what they have gone through the same, because this kind of men have gone through the same pain, and also there are men who have not gone through this pain. They do accept women who are molested. I can say that boldly because I am one among that person.
Okay, so your answer to the question is, you are one of those men in India. Yes, speak for yourself.
There are men.
Okay.
But I also agree at the same time there are very less amount of men where it's not being seen in this world, but there are men in this world that they know what it has gone through, they know the pain, they know what to do at the right time. There are men who stands for women like this in India.
Okay.
And also at the same time for men, there are women who stands for that kind of a man in India. I have seen both, and I can boldly say because I am that kind of a person. I'm one among that person. So it is a question that question is a very direct question, and I like that caller speaking that way because it really has to make every man think that what will happen to that woman.
Yes.
We have to stand, and we have to, because if she has gone through that, it is not by her. She didn't go through her own will. It was forced on her. So it is not her fault. So that is what I would like to say to every man who may think that this man is talking somehow.
Okay.
She didn't go through this situation because she wanted to go through. She went because someone forced on her, and she was not able to escape that place.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that woman is not good to be good for a man to get married to. She is the way she is. You see from your mind. She is, according to her mind, she didn't like, that means she has not gone through that place, though she has gone physically.
Yes.
So there are men who are like me, they will get married to this kind of woman. That is what I just wanted to tell the caller who has placed this question.
Yes, thank you very much. And I want to add to what you're saying to all the viewers and those who are listening through TAN Radio and any one of the mediums through which we are having this station. I want to add to what you are saying. I want to say many has actually married molested women without them knowing. The women did not speak, and they also did not speak. They were molested. The women were molested. They are continuing the cycle of molestation. But you are different, and that caller is different, and you will not continue the cycle of molestation. You
Thank
deserve
So we don't want it to continue
From the
it. I will be such a person that I wanted to stop this because I hated men and women. The reason is because I don't want, even when my friends, they go behind a woman to love, they say I fall in love with the girl, I beat them up. And I say you don't go behind that woman. And at the same time, when women comes, many women have come and approached me giving letter. I have peeled their nails off and said, go and tell this to your parents, because I hated this, and also I don't like men going behind women. I wanted to, from that time, this was the main focus that I want. In one of the places which that time I was a person who was being like a rowdy, but people liked me because they thought I'm a hero, but I was not a hero, but I know who I was at that time.
Okay.
So it really affected me, and I wanted to tell to the entire nations of this world that, man, you have the strength in your body. You don't go and fall on a woman. And men who are standing around and watching, and right now I saw in the campaign that ma'am was sharing that in the train the molestation was going on and men didn't rise up. I feel shame about those men. They have to stand and they have to fight against it. That is what I wanted to say. When everyone comes together as one voice, everything should stop, must stop. It has no other choice. And that is what I wanted to tell to the entire nations of the world. Come together as one voice and let's stop this thing.
Yes.
We have been suffered. Enough of people suffering through this. Let everyone come together. Let's come together and stop this molestation. As we speak out, it will stop for sure. I believe that's the reason I called you, sir.
Thank you very much for dropping this very important point and answering the heavy question.
Yes.
Which men will marry in India?
So your voice is breaking, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now that's amazing, answering the question, the heavy question of who's going to marry the women who have been molested in India, and who
she has publicly confessed it.
who spoke
And how will people
who
see
spoke
her?
yes who spoke and revealed that, and how people see that. So it's very important that we get this. We have few minutes left, and if you are calling in, the number is right on the screen, 974-274-3406, and you can share your comments or you can share your experience, and you can give your support for the campaign.
If you have any questions or comments, you can post it. You can even post it here on Facebook. We are live there. We are watching you. So you can post your questions. We will be able
now
to
I think the caller who called has pasted detail of 354D of IPC in the timeline. Now I'm not able to see it in the timeline. I'm seeing only just your remark that you said I have pasted the detail of 354D of IPC in the timeline. We're not able to see it as yet. Can you see it from
No,
your...
I don't see it.
Okay, we're not able to see that yet. So caller, you have to paste it again. We're talking about exposing maniacs.
Yes.
Exposing maniacs. When we expose them, the strength of molestation fails.
Yes.
And the cycle of its effect is discontinued. Now, you have lived here and raised here. People are not able to speak. What do you have to speak to them? They are not able to speak. They are not able to share their experience. Some feel they are shy. Some feel like the caller said, Melvin. He said people feel that way, and they feel ashamed, and they feel like if they expose, they are dirty.
Yes.
And they put a black mark on themselves. But many people have married women who are not virgins, and they can't open their mouth because they are not virgins.
Yes, it has been a lifestyle here of being a secluded, reserved kind of a society, you know, and these kind of matters that are very personal and private, they don't like to share it. So that has been a idea on the bigger picture. What I would like to say is, if you are not ready to speak your experience, to voice out that your voice can be important to someone who is hearing, because after we receive some calls, some other callers, some other people who contact us, they know that when they hear this, they can, you know, refer to their own experience,
Yes, learn.
and they are able to learn from it, and they are able to, you know, either come out of that traumatic condition or something like that. They are able to, you know, respond in a very different way. But if you are lonely, you are suffering, and someone is not helping by speaking, they will just suffer in that loneliness all through their, you know, if they are young little girls, they will suffer all through their young age until they come to the maturity, you know, of their mind, and it's so difficult. So if you don't make a change of your mind today to come and open up, then you cannot expect a change in molestation.
Yes.
So you can't expect and say to stop molestation.
And then if they say okay.
Yeah. So your voice is so important for us, for them to hear, because it's not only you, there are many out there in secret suffering. But everybody have phone, we can circulate these stories without revealing your identity. We can make stories and we can circulate. It will definitely help someone out there.
Yes.
Because
So this is Vasha from Karnataka.
Thank you, Vasha, for calling from Kolagov. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
how are you, sir?
We're great. Tell us what you have to contribute for the campaign today, calling from Karnataka, Kolagov Field.
Yes. Sir, a while ago I heard from a caller what he spoke, what his conviction is. I'm glad about it. But I have other questions to ask the society. It is provoking me to ask. I heard a story of a woman who underwent certain condition that when she was a teenager, because she went to study with her friends for a group study along, they were all males, yeah. So she got raped. And they have...
Can you repeat please? They were all?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Can you repeat please? You said in the
yes, okay. I heard a story of a woman during her college time when she went to study along with her friend. All the friends were male, only she was a female, and she got gang raped by 3 or 4 men.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, and what these guys have done, they have taken the video of it completely.
Okay.
And they have started to blackmail her, telling that if you don't continue to be with us sexually whenever we want, we will put this video in YouTube, we'll spread it throughout the world. We'll upload it in the internet. They were blackmailing her. So this way going on and on and on. And she was also convinced, and because she was not able to do anything, so she also involved herself according to the will and wish.
Okay.
So later, what happened when she wanted to go out of it, it was not possible. And what happened after some...
Do you know the period of time this took place after they blackmailed her? Do you know the period of time this molestation took place?
No, sir.
Okay. Speak on, please.
Yeah. So later what happened, she wanted to come out of it, but she was not able to. But these guys, what they have done, they have they have blackmailed her so strongly that she was not able to move out. But there came a point where she had opened her parents, I don't know exactly, sir. What they have done plastic surgery to her, and they have changed her face. Her face have got changed because of the plastic surgery.
Okay.
So, but still these 4 guys, what they have done, they have uploaded the video of that woman. They have uploaded the video of that woman in the YouTube.
Okay.
So, yeah, so my question is, sir, if what if the video has been uploaded? My question, this girl fears because what will the society see? What will happen to my image? What will happen to my future?
Correct.
What will happen to my marriage?
Yeah.
What will happen to my spouse, my brothers, my sisters?
Yes.
Everyone will see my body. Everything is gone. She will think like that. So she fears. She wants to protect herself. So she allows herself, whatever they want to do, you do, but don't reveal my body to the world. That is her intention. But my question is, if the video is uploaded, and why can't the society accept that she has been a victim of that? And why can't the society look her the way they see her normally? If the next day her videos uploaded in the internet, and next day she's walking on the road, and many people have watched that video, and when she's walking on the road, how will this society see her? Will they see her as a person of sex product, or will they see her as a brother? Will they see her as a sister, or her own, daughter? I'm asking the question to the society. Because there have been many incidents, many victims who have been like this. Many people have committed suicide.
Yes.
Will the society give another level of the way of seeing to such people as these?
Yes. Now,
what if they see the parts of the body? So what is there? Is it cost more than your life that you have to die? Why can't this bold decision the society can't give? Can they give it?
Okay. Thank you for that wonderful question. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for calling Vasha from Kola Goldfield. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Keep connected to the program. We will answer that question.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Now, what our audience around the world and those who are listening, even though we have a few minutes more, but then you have to answer that question. A girl's body is seen sexually molested and gang raped several times by pedophiles and sexual maniacs, and they have done this to her, and they have blackmailed her.
Yes.
That if you don't do this if you don't maintain this, we will
publicly
share
post it.
this, and they still shared it according to the story, right? Right? Or you are not sure? According to okay, anyway, so now the question,
to protect herself, in order to protect, she made
plastic surgery.
She maintained to going out with them.
She did. Messages are coming in, and we will be reading those messages as soon as possible.
And
because
there's one audio there. There's one audio to be played.
Okay. Before we answer that question, can we play that audio? The audio that is to be played. Voice. I want to
talk about the biggest issue facing us. Not politics, not some financial issue, not some school issue, but a very simple issue. Respect to our women in the community. The issue of molestation and rape has become rampant.
Hello, this is Stop Molestation Campaign, Karnataka. Stop Molestation. Who's calling?
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. I'm calling from Bangalore.
Okay, tell me.
I'd like to keep my identity a secret if it's
That's
okay.
fine. That's fine for us.
Hello, sir. First of all, I watched your campaign last week, and I think it's a brilliant program.
Thank you.
I think that it's finally people are getting a platform to express. I've seen a lot of people posting on Facebook, but ultimately, where is it going?
Yes.
So this platform has enabled people to speak out and make people listen to what is actually going on in the world.
Yes.
So that's up to you, sir. It's very nice what you're doing. I really hope this program grows and we get more viewers just like me.
Thank you.
So last week there was a caller, and what she spoke really interested me.
Okay.
She said that men are not ready to accept a woman who is molested.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I find this concept puzzling. I mean, a woman got molested. The wrong? Did they take her arm off, or did they mutilate her body that you can't marry her? She's fine. She's molested. Yes, it's not her fault. She's fine. You can still marry her.
Okay.
And what I'd like to add to that, Indian men, I think they have to really broaden their thinking perspective. They have a problem with women not making round chapati. So, I think if you have a problem like that, if you have a problem with everything, I don't know what can happen. In my view, a molested woman will take care of her children in such a way that they are safe from something like that because she's experienced it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think so, sir?
Yes, likely to be like that.
It is true.
90%
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
molested ones. Yes, correct. Go on.
Yes. So I think I don't really see anything wrong with a man marrying a molested woman. In fact, like you said many times, that almost everybody has been molested. Some say, some don't say.
Yeah.
Yes.
But ultimately, I don't really think I myself have a problem marrying someone who's been a victim of molestation, because I think she would know what it is to be like, and she will safeguard my children from such evil.
Wow. Thank you very much.
So, yes, sir. And another thing that I'd like to share, sir, in Asifa's case, what do we see now? We see a lot of religious targeting happening. You know, Asifa being a Muslim,
Yes.
they are thinking the Muslims are standing out. And recently there was another case, sir, where a girl called Geeta got molested.
Okay.
She's Hindu. Now what puzzles me here is, why are they making this a religious fight? What is the fundamentals we're missing here? Girls, little children are getting molested.
Yes.
Why are we missing that point?
Exactly.
That's what they need to realize.
Exactly. They are missing that point.
Yes.
Exactly.
Instead, it's become a religious war. Muslim girl got raped, the Hindu girl got raped. It's sad to see how the society is deviated from what is important and gone to a religious battle now.
It is not a religious battle. They shouldn't go into a religious battle, but that's what they are missing.
Yes, exactly, sir. So I really hope people they start seeing things in a proper perspective and stop the evils of molestation, sir.
Thank you very much for your call, and this is amazing. Thank you very much, Kala.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Religion has been religious things has been a very sensitive matter in the nation. Hindu, Christian and Muslim, already there is been a groundwork of issues happening on the religion.
Yes.
So when such thing happen, it is just fueling on the issues that's already boiling.
Yes,
You know.
yes.
So this rape will definitely contribute, because the location it was done was a temple, and that's where this and the girl is a Muslim,
Yes.
and that's why this kind of question is posed.
Yes.
This kind of issue is coming to happen, and it is
Yes.
going, and it's tearing many Muslims against Hindus and Hindus against Muslims, and they are taking it in that way. So like the caller asked, why is it going in that religious way? The answer is simple. Already there is war. Already there people have been against each other, Hindus, Christians and Muslims.
So they
find a reason to stir up their anger towards one another, and this is one of the reasons. And so Asifa's case has been a reason, an excuse, and they are continuing their fight that has always been there.
Yes.
To the extent of terrorism, killing in mass, bomb blast, you can see the extent of things that is happening. So even this,
Yes.
now it has happened in a different way.
Now
That's
the
it.
caller said that exactly the society is missing the point.
Yes.
Are they fighting for religion, or they are fighting for a common ground? Now they are not fighting for a common ground. People who are doing that, they are
Yes.
fighting for religion. But what Stop Molestation stands for is a common ground, and
Yes.
that's a humanitarian
Yes.
ground. And whether you are a Muslim, whether you are a Christian, whether you are a pagan,
rape
It is-
has not been a religious fight
It has not been.
per se, but now it has happened. This is one case that is bringing religion, pulling religion in out of the thing here.
We shouldn't make this a religious
Yes.
war. It is
So
not a
definitely.
religious war. It is something that is common for everyone, and it's something that we must look into very, very carefully and very, very sternly.
It's already
strictly.
a condition that we need to change.
Yes.
So
and-
we are standing here to change
Yeah,
it.
and the previous callers in previous programs, they were talking about that there was a particular voice note was very heart-touching for me. It says, when will a girl see light in India?
Yes.
And that's a very important question that we ought to answer. When will a girl child see light in India? That question has multiple weights in it, not only molestation.
Yes.
Gender inequality, that is being practiced in this nation and around the world. We really need to look into that. So these things are what we should stand for. It's a
Yes.
common ground. It's not, we should not be standing, Asifa is a Muslim, Sunita or whatever the name is, it's a Hindu, so now it is 1-1.
No, we stand here for
Common
humanitarian
ground.
basis.
It's a common
yes.
ground. So the number to call is right on the screen, and we'll be able to pick one or two more calls before we round off. 974-274-3406.
I think there's a question here.
Yes, please
in
read the
Facebook.
question.
My question is, as you are discussed about psychiatric condition, how far our health team members can bring change in the society by stopping molestation? Even the same question is applicable for politics in Karnataka.
Okay, right now we are not standing here right now for political views, so I reserve my comments strictly about political views. But concerning the pedophilia psychiatric condition, that some people, very few out of 100 molesters, maybe 1 or 2
Yes.
may have
Yeah,
that
yeah.
condition. Okay, but whatever the case is, we are bringing the awareness to the medical team, to the medical world, that they can do something to also help that. And also they do know it's not that we are bringing awareness to them, we are bringing awareness to the
That's why
public.
what we can do is the molester should make it known if she is
Expose.
molested, and when they get to know that the person may be mentally challenged or like you said
Pedophilia.
condition of pedophilia, then when we know, I think the medical team needs to have a body where when we contact them, they can immediately come to that help, to give that help. So that kind of awareness can be spread from a medical health team.
So this is beautiful. Well, we're coming to the close of Karnataka Stop Molestation. It's very important that you expose the maniac, the sexual maniac. It's not something that we are glad to hear. It's something that the society will make use of, and it will help someone who's going through that, or someone who may likely go through that. Like I said from the beginning of the program, when you expose a sexual maniac, the act of molestation stops.
Yes.
The act of molestation stops, either on that particular case, or either on that particular case or on the subsequent case. So whatever the case may be, you have to expose it. It's so important that you expose the sexual maniac.
The
If you
maniac,
keep
it's
quiet-
very easy to identify.
Now, I want to
them.
ask you a question.
Because I had an experience when I was a little girl, 13 years, 12 to 13 years age. I have met with a maniac. Now I can realize he is a maniac, sexual maniac, because first of all, we had exams and we finished exams, and I did my exam very quickly. So my friends were still writing, so I didn't have anyone to accompany to walk home, and my home from school was just about 5 to 10 minutes walk, and I had an option to walk through a sports club that is isolated, or walk through the main road where people are all there. But that day I just chose, because we normally go through, if we are
Was
friends.
it a dark time?
No, it's an afternoon time.
That
So
is
I
supposed to be
walked,
safe.
no, but it is isolated and it's not good. So if I had known these things, if my parents had told me don't go into the
You would have taken a
isolated
better
area,
choice.
would have known. Because even near our school there were some parks, and in those parks we have encountered, we girls when we were walking, we have seen some maniac men. Before my experience, I've seen some men standing there looking something insane about them, and they lose their trousers when the girls are
Go
walking
naked.
past. Yes, they just want to show they are private. You know, like that we have seen, and we know that obviously he is a maniac.
A college or a school?
But if a girl is alone
college?
in school,
Hmm.
when I was in school, I saw that in the park nearby the school. So if we had known enough, we could have reported to the school in charge,
Authority.
and they could have come and done something about him, because he was a maniac. He's not mentally stable. And coming back to my experience, I had a choice to walk through the main road or through the sports club area, and that sports club area was a big ground, and there nobody would be there, and outside the ground there would be only bushes, you know. So I was walking, and my house is very close by. I can just see where the apartments are, and as I was walking, I saw a man sitting down there, dressed shabby, and I thought, okay, someone is sitting. I was in my that's what, as I said, I was just 12 or 13 years old. So I walked past him, and I was walking quite fast, and when I was walking, I heard someone running behind me. So I turned and looked at the man running. I thought he would run past me. He may be going somewhere. And he just comes in front of me, facing me and backing our apartments where we lived. And he brought out a big knife, and the knife came out, and he straight put it on my stomach, and he was pressing, and he said, "Come with me to the bush." Only when I grew, only now I realize and
What he
remember
was
that
intending
incident,
to
that
do.
it may be an attempt to rape and murder or something, because he was equipped with the knife and he was looking somehow, and he could have done anything.
How did you get help?
So I was like thinking, what should I do? But on the side I was bold, but I don't know what exactly he's going to do. So I thought, why should I come to the bush? I asked him. He said, come with me, otherwise I will kill you. I said, why should I come with you to the bush? I kept questioning him. He was getting frustrated, and he is in fear. I can see fear in his face. He's in fear, he is in confusion, he is somewhat. Then all of a sudden I saw him run. He said, if you shout or open your mouth or shout for help,
So
I'm going to
no one
pierce this
helped.
knife. So he brought the knife again, and
Closer,
he was pressing.
touched your
He was
stomach.
pressing to my stomach. He's pressing. I was in the uniform. He was pressing my stomach. So I was not really scared at
At
that
what age?
moment. I was looking
At what age were you?
12 or 13 years. I was looking to run away. I was just finding an opportunity to just run off. So before I could realize, I saw him run away from there. He just left me and he ran. He just ran so violently. And
Nobody
then I was thinking,
intervened.
what happened? But we heard a voice of a woman called, she was calling, "Hey!" She screamed out.
Okay.
But I didn't know from where she saw what happened, why he ran, I don't know. But he was so full of conscious of, and he was so fearful. I know definitely that he must be a maniac, you know.
Obviously.
And
a child of 12 years.
yes. So
pedophile.
he ran, and I ran to my house, and my house was second floor, and on the first floor there was a lady, and she asked me, what was he doing to you? What happened? I was surprised that how did she know? So it's quite a distance, you know, though I can see my house, it was quite a distance, and he was not standing facing the building where the woman can see him. He was backing me, and I was little small, and he's a big man, and he covers me, and I don't know how that she would know that something is happening. You know, she just screamed, and the man ran. I wonder if she didn't, what would have happened, and I didn't have any idea of what can happen. All I know was a fear with that knife. After that 1 week I was not able to come or go to school.
Fear.
I was gripped with fear.
This is the thing that you should tell the
So
people.
I was gripped with fear, and my dad came home, and we told him. He went around looking for the man there, nothing. But after I returned back to school, I heard news that in that same place, that isolated place, we heard that that same person was actually trying to do this to other girls also. So the news came to the school, and they told us, don't walk through the isolated place. So that's an encounter with I think a maniac.
So wherever you're listening from, I want you to know that we have said this in the second campaign. You don't have to go late.
Yes. Or
you
take
don't have to take a lonely street.
Lonely places.
And some people even are, like I said, they are so calm, they are so quiet, they are so soft that anything can be done to them. Why you have to keep yourself in that kind of experimental position? You have to take and do what is right. That is so important. Oh, that is interesting, honey, that you shared that. All right, that you shared that. Good. Now,
but the same kind of, in my experience, also there was some kind of molestation for a period of time from one of my family members. When I was very young, as at that age, you know, it was still around 12 to 13 years old only. Yeah, it was still around that age, and one of my family members. This one, when it happened, I was able to speak boldly, take the help of my parents, speak and all. But when that happened, because he's one of our family members, I could not open my mouth. Because I know the whole family, and I was thinking, what would they think and what in the world is happening here? I don't understand. So he was kind of coming to touch and all those things. So it kept on repeating. Each time we visit, each time they visit, something. He's looking for an opportunity.
And how are you feeling about it?
It was around. It went on up to 2 years, and it's not daily because I don't live with them. So it was very terrible feeling. It was very fearful.
That's one thing.
You lose interest in anything. You lose interest to go, mingle, enjoy. You are scared that something can happen anytime, you know, and you are looking for opportunities to run away.
To you always share this to your parents.
You cannot share this to anybody. So that if awareness was there like this, or if something, I did not even share with my school friends or anybody, some kind of fear, because my family should not know. And I know this contributes about the society. That's how the society is, where you don't have to share it. That is what the society, because of they keep there. But as a child, it is fear that keeps you not to share, and in silence we suffer. So it was a terrible thing to suffer for about 2 years. Then automatically things started to change, and nothing happened as such. Everything changed.
Okay, now speaking to someone there now, they say, see, you didn't speak, but everything changed. What do you have to say to those people? They say, so that's why we're not speaking.
But if I lived with them, it would have continued. But I didn't live with them, and
just
things changed. Yeah, and I avoided, and I took measures not to go close, or you know.
And so someone out there can say, that is what I'm doing also. My brother or my uncle or my father's brother or something, whatever it is, they did it to me also. That's why I'm not calling, because everything was fine.
No. We are not telling the one that is going to right now to call. Call for help, where you can call for help, not to share it now if you don't want to share it. But you call for help where you can be helped, and you can know how you can avoid such things.
That is fine, but I am saying to the caller, that's beautiful. But I'm saying to those who are watching right now, if you don't share, it will continue.
Yes.
But if you share, it will not continue. So this is a very important thing that you should get from this campaign. As you share it, it will not continue. If you don't share, it will continue. I want to thank everyone who participated in Stop Molestation Karnataka. I want to thank all those who called in and shared their names: Vasher, Melvin, Priscilla, and our cameraman, and those are on the studio table mixer, and those who are contributing, all who are in the studio here. I want to thank everyone for participating for Stop Molestation Karnataka. We expect this, you can share this in your timeline and also mobilize others as we come online next Sunday.
Yes.
Next Sunday, 6 p.m. And it's nice.
There's someone who is reminding you that you have not yet answered a question that she was asking.
That's interesting. Okay, I will answer the question. Thank you, my dear caller. Vasha, I think that would
Yes.
be. Yes, I will answer that.
The view of the society.
The view of the society
Yes.
to that woman who's molested.
Yes.
Why can the society see
Respond
the woman
differently.
Because the society lives according to vain traditions. Why do you call it vain traditions? Because this stick is broken. It is real that the stick is broken.
So this
We are supposed to see the stick as it is broken, but we are saying, why did the stick get broken? It is the stick fault. This stick is a bad stick. It is not a good quality stick, and all those things. I use the experiment or the example of a stick because the woman was molested sexually, gang raped several times, and exploited upon by those they don't deserve to be called gentlemen,
yes,
by those sexual maniacs and pedophiles. So they exploited her, and they finally uploaded the video, or they didn't upload the video. I don't know how exactly that story ended, but the society and many people right now, so I'm talking to you, many people are not able to speak because they are living for the society. And so long as you live for the society in a fearful way that you think, what will they think? And so you will be under the control of the fear of your experience of molestation, and that will continue. So the reason why the society cannot see the people is because most people in the society, they are following useless traditions. With respect to all the traditions that are in the society, any tradition that cannot call a spade is useless. Any tradition that cannot, I respect all the traditions, any tradition that cannot say what truly happened according to the law, according to what should be, that tradition, it is not a real tradition. And this is what the entire society, home and abroad, this is what they all live for. They live for a name. They live just so when a girl is molested, they think the girl is the problem. So what is Asifa's problem? In Asifa's case, Asifa was not wearing any Western clothes. Asifa was wearing. Hello, caller. Where are you calling from? We're rounding off. Hello, caller.
Hello,
Yes. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Manapet.
Okay. Tell us what your contribution or question or comments is.
In my age, even I faced a lot of situations
Okay.
where I was not aware of it, and my neighbors, my relations used to come home. My parents used to make them to sleep with them because no place in the house, a separate room we didn't have. But I faced the problem. He was trying to do something wrong with me. So I shouted to my mother.
I like that. I like that. I like that. You shouted. I like that. So everybody woke up.
Girls who react.
Everybody woke up when you shouted.
Yeah. But they just said, okay, come. My mother said, come and sleep with us. But I didn't tell her what he did to me.
Okay.
I just shouted, so he got frightened. And after that, I didn't see that the relation came in my house. So like there's 2-3 problems I have faced in my life. One was with my father's best friend.
Okay.
He always used to carry me from a very top of my body, used to make me to get down.
Okay.
Get down. 2-3 times I was not aware of it, what he's trying to do. But again when he called me to...
At what age? Dear caller, at what age this thing you experienced it?
It was around 7-6 years. It was.
Pedophile. This is a pedophile. Yes, tell me.
Then next time I didn't go to him. But again he called my sister. Because I didn't go to him, he called my sister. Then I told my mother, mother is trying to do a wrong thing. But my mother slapped me. She asked me, why you are blaming that uncle? Why you are talking like that? I was not able to tell her what really he is trying to do.
Yes.
So one day he said, my Aisha is not at home. Can you send them to clean my house? I went there. Again he tried. He just asked me. It just came upon me. I got frightened. I just pushed him and I came home.
Okay.
So all these things I feel now every soul has to know there is a real God who is within us. All those times I was just a Roman Catholic. I used to just go with my parents. I was not knowing real God. I didn't know. We just used to keep some photos. We used to keep some rosaries, keep continuously telling the same thing. Prayer is just to talk with the Father. I came to know that very late age. When I was like 48 years, I came to know. We can every day sit and talk to our Father. He's there to hear us. So now I want to tell everyone that we have to talk to the Creator, not to the creations, not to keep our belief on the creations, just to talk to the Creator and welcome Him in all the situations. I think every soul has to come close to the real God.
Thank you very much. You got comforted and you got help from your spiritual beliefs, right?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much, Carla, for sharing that with us. Thank you very much, and thank you for participating in Stop Molestation Campaign Karnataka. Wow, that is amazing.
Some of them are strong mind and they are able to overcome in one way or the other. They are going to find a solution to come out of that traumatic condition, and they come out of it through different helps and mediums.
That's good. I mean, they could get out of it.
Yes.
You know, they could get out of it. Now, wherever you are watching from, wherever you are listening from, whether you're listening over the radio or whether you're watching over any of the social networks, this is the time to speak out. Wherever you can send us your voice note. If we do not read out your text message in this particular program, we will read it in the next program. So with this last note, we say to everyone watching and everyone participating that Karnataka, stop molestation. And so from yes,
the more we speak, the more it will stop.
Yes, from Edmonds Joanna and
Joanna Owhorode,
we say to Karnataka and everyone who is participating now, stop molestation, and let's make this place a better place for our children and the next generation. Let's break the silence and speak out and expose the sexual maniacs in our society, in our homes, in the schools, in the offices, wherever they may be, and let people be free to speak out. They talk about democracy. What about the human right that is given to you to speak?
Yes.
You are looking at democracy. Democracy is a law made, you know. What about the human rights?
Every human has
right to speak. So speak out whatever molestation. Some people, you know, what about these people? Because I'm about to forget. What about these people who say, mine was not, they just touched my back like this. Mine was not so much. What to say about that? You know, they just touched like this. And I said, hey, so they removed their hands. Mine was not much of a, what do you have to say to those?
It can start from there, but it will help someone, you know, to know how to respond when such things happen, because it wouldn't have advanced in your case, but it can advance in someone's case. So your voice will help someone to take a right step to avoid it.
Last question. What about those who are molested and don't even know?
They don't even know.
They thought they were petting them.
They should just take a stand to stop molestation. That's it.
Okay, they thought they were petting them. So my uncle was touching me here like this, was really taking care of me. They did not they did not know that they were molested.
That's
so
innocence, and schools have to make people aware of things
it's
like
only
that.
now, as I'm thinking, I have grown now. I've become a grown girl or boy. Only now I'm going to know he's going here and there. Now I know what is he doing that time. That time I thought he was petting me. Now you have to say that, because some people out there may be also feeling this kind of foolish innocence.
Yes.
It's a foolish innocence when the person who's grown, who can be felt all over, and is being felt all over and is acting like a novice, empty-headed. So you have to share your experience also, and let someone there who's novice also wake up.
Yes.
And know that, oh, no, that is not petting. Yes. That is not family love. That is not care.
Yes.
That is molestation. And that is the starting stage. Thank you for participating, all our callers and all our men out here. Thank you very much for participating in Stop Molestation Karnataka. See you next week,
thank you very much.
Sunday, 6 p.m. Make it a date. Mobilize. Tell others to call. Thank you for participating. Thank you very much.